comfortable winning the end into the semi-finals. Was that as comfortable as you could have hoped for tonight?
Yeah, obviously tricky opponents coming in, as we've seen the last 2 or 3 games have been causing teams real problems. But I thought for 60 minutes our application to nullifying their attack were very, very good. You could see, and you could certainly hear from the stand, the talk, the organisation, certainly the talk and effort on the offloads, and we felt when they got some offloads, they didn't particularly hurt us too much. I thought we were really alive to the sort of kicking game and the trick kicks, and did a really, really good job and a really concentrated job on that, which I thought were important. They have been troubling a lot of teams. So yeah, we thought it got a little bit untidy, around the sin bin and after that, and we lost a bit of an interchange using Ash Hanley, just a precaution with his hamstring, and probably just lost his ability to rotate a couple of more tired people at times when we probably needed to, but that wouldn't have hurt him either. So no, all in all, I think given the problems they've been causing teams, we would have 100% settled for that at half-time in particular, and certainly scoreline. As I say, a couple of untidy bits that our guys are a bit annoyed with themselves, but overall, job well done.
Was the key to breaching their defence as frequently as you did down to the fact that you managed to stifle them as well as you did with the ball?
Yeah, I think so. As I say, I thought his application to that part of the game were really, really good. And, a couple of times in the first half, we were quite clinical on the chances that we got. Turned the ball over in a pretty controlled way at times. And, some good stuff.
You're obviously in a semi-final now, and you get to the point where you're getting close to competing for a major honour. Do you watch this team that you've got at the minute and see a team that's good enough, that's capable enough of competing with the big boys for the big trophies?
Well, I think we've still a way to go to do that on a consistent basis if you look at the benchmark teams. But I'd also like to think that we're pointing in the right direction. We've had a couple of disappointments this year, notably when we come back off COVID, and Saints and Wigan, we had 2 poor performances, and in particular against Saints, we just failed to compete. So it shows that we've got a level to step up to, certainly consistency wise and higher level performance wise against some of those teams if we want to start picking trophies up. But at the same time, we feel we're on that journey. We hated the word rebuild, but we feel we're on a journey, hoping, striving towards that. I know as a coach, I've probably got a certain amount of time to get this club competing at that level. But I still think with some of the younger talents that are emerging for us, there's some pretty good signs for us.
Is it important that for this rebuild as such, that you are in a Challenge Cup semi-final, that you can say you've got to this stage of a competition?
Not unless you win it. I think it's been an easy quarter-final to get to at this moment in time, not having to play anybody and getting drawn through. So, yeah, Challenge Cup so far tonight's been all right. Tony Smith's here pulling faces at me, boys, when I'm talking to you. So, look, at the end of the day, given the circumstances, it has been an easier route to the semi-final than what it has been historically, mate. So, but that said, we've always said everything's a little bit different this year. So we'll take it, and I think we can get excited about looking forward to the draw tomorrow, knowing that we're in it and watching the other 2 teams, slug it out.
How's Ash Hanley?
Just a strain on his hamstring. We felt having Luke on the bench, and I think it was 30-0 at the time to score. We just didn't want to risk it, mate. We're having a number of issues, as we all know about, with around the COVID situation. We just didn't want to put Ash in a position where we had to rule him out for the next week or 2 with something like hamstring. So, yeah, just precautionary, mate.
Just finally from me, Liam Sutcliffe seems to be in a good run of form. He's obviously handed in that transfer request. Are you thinking you won't mind trying to persuade him to stay the way he's playing at the minute?
Oh, that's always been the case, and I'm glad you've noticed that. We feel that Liam, again, for 3 weeks now, has played really good football, and done a real good job on attack and defence. You know, centre is a position that he likes playing. We said to him all along, we don't want him to leave. Believe it or not, the fact he's handed a transfer request in hasn't left any situation between club, coach and player. You know, we're very sort of upfront and honest with each other. And as I said before, this is really said a couple of times before about how he's feeling. There's not too much pressure on him from us. If a club comes in and makes an offer for him and he wants to go, I guess if the offer's acceptable, we'll listen to it. But ultimately, he knows, because we've told him that we simply don't want him to go, and we hope at some point he changes his mind and likes to commit to us for a little bit longer.